Hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Cecilia Savajan. I am the Database Information Specialist at Travel Oregon, and I'm very excited today to welcome you to a webinar session about maximizing exposure for your Google business profiles. And I would like to welcome our presenter today, Kim Palmer with Miles Partnership. Welcome, Kim.
Thanks, Cecilia. I'm excited to be here today. So we are going to be delving into ways to maximize your exposure with your Google business profile. I know some of you may have been on some of our previous webinars that were around the fundamentals of Google business profile. So this session is a little bit of a 102 of other features and tools that you can use in getting the most out of your Google presence. I am the Destination Optimization Program Director at Miles Partnership. Miles is a strategic marketing company that works exclusively in the travel and tourism space. So we've worked with hundreds of destinations and hospitality businesses over the years on marketing solutions. And my team in particular focuses in on training local businesses and destinations on how to make the most of their online presence on the major travel planning platforms. And as you can imagine, Google is a big part of that equation. In that program, we have worked with over 300 destinations around the country and done audits of over 150,000 business profiles and trained many thousand businesses on these platforms as well. So a lot of what we're doing here today really comes from a lot of hands-on experience with those profiles. So we've got 6 things we're going to go through in today's webinar. I'm going to start with a little bit more of a general overview of what's going on in travel search today, touching on the best practices that we always emphasize to businesses, and a couple new tools that have come out just in the last 6 months or so for businesses. And then specifically getting into some of our more advanced tools within the Google Business Profile Manager, including updating your customers using posts, responding to questions and messages from your customers, integrating conversions, and monitoring your performance. So today's travel search trends. Now, this is not your early 2000s search results anymore. Today's travel search results are different because, first of all, they're primarily mobile. I've seen statistics of between 60 and 65% of all Google searches are now happening on a mobile device. So when we are really considering what search results look like and what our businesses look like on the Google platform, we always start with mobile. You'll see most of the screenshots and examples we'll show here today are on mobile devices. It also means that these searches are also a lot more real-time and locally based of where I am right now in my travel and what I want to do next. We're also seeing much more visual and video elements in our search results. We're seeing search results that are more transactionally focused, and can't get through a webinar in this day and age without at least mentioning AI at one point. But certainly in a way, AI originated in search, and it is having a big influence of what our search results of the future are going to look like. To give you a few examples of what these trends look like in practice, and I really encourage you to get on your phones, do a search for things to do in your market, best places to eat in your market, and just take a moment to review what comes up in those search results and what they look like. This is no longer a world with one blue link and some copy underneath it for us to choose from. Visual elements are everywhere in search results. You can see these examples here on the left from TripAdvisor, from local DMOs, from Eater, etc., where photos from those websites are being collaged into the search result itself, which is going to have an impact on the click-through rate to these search results. And we can even start to search by visual images. So for example, if I do this search for the best steak in Bend, Oregon, part of my search results is going to be dishes that are nearby that place. I can even get a search result that is just showing me pictures of steaks in Bend, Oregon, so that I can sort of visually be inspired to choose what I want from those search results. We're also seeing this in things like the related searches section in our search results. You can see these are recommendations for based on what I searched, what others have also searched that is relevant to those searches. And you can see this is, again, a purely visual layout. Now, as a business owner, something else we are seeing is that our business profiles no longer necessarily have just one or two photos in the header. We're starting to see these collages of images, of video clips, and of photos that are uploaded by customers and may even have snippets of review information in that image. In our top sites search results, we're also seeing this displayed as photos, and we're starting to see more and more video showing up in business profiles photo galleries. So if you haven't already, do think about starting to upload short video clips to your business profile, as that's going to, as you can see, start to be featured in places throughout the search results. This is unique from YouTube and Instagram Reels and TikTok and all those things. You do have to upload a video file like you would upload a photo directly to your business profile. They're not currently scraping those videos out of other platforms. But we are really starting to see short form video show up in travel search results as well. And this is exclusively on mobile. You won't get this section of short videos if you're doing a desktop search. One of the things that happened last year is that we saw searches for specific destinations or for the phrase things to do in XYZ starting to show this block of search results of short videos. These videos are pulled from a variety of the top sources of short form video, including YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Facebook. And a lot of these are really very user-generated or influencer-generated content. We definitely expect to see this search result unit start to show up in more places, especially in dining-related searches because of how important food and dining is in the travel space. A couple best practices. I know we're here to talk about Google business profiles, but I would be remiss to not answer, well, what can I do to show up in this particular element? If you are active in short form video, it's really all about being SEO friendly. Back to our old school, make sure that the name of your business and the name of your destination are in your video titles, in your descriptions, that you're using hashtags that are specific to your market and your industry. Other things that help are using text overlays in your videos so that folks that have their sound turned off can still get the point of what they're looking at. Using voiceovers, and we're definitely seeing videos that already have a high view count or engagement rate being more likely to show up in these this organic search result unit. We're also seeing a much greater emphasis on conversions in our Google business profiles throughout Google. You'll notice that whether you're an attraction, a restaurant, a tour operator, we're starting to see things like tickets, reservations, orders, and bookings front and center in how folks can communicate with us We're also starting to see pricing for specific tickets and tours showing up in the business profiles of locations. You may have noticed the new tickets and tours ad unit that is showing up when you do a things to do search for a specific market. This is an ad unit. This is not tied to anyone's Google business profile. This is pay-per-click advertising that predominantly folks like Viator and Get Your Guide are bidding on. Groupon shows up in here quite a bit too, where they have tours and packages specific to that destination. We're not seeing this as much in smaller markets where there may not be a whole lot of tour product. These do link directly through to Viator or whoever is offering the tour. And again, this is a paid advertising unit, not really related to Google business profiles, but obviously very prominent in things to do search results. And lastly, generative AI is really changing how we search and what we expect from search results. Google's Gemini, which just got renamed last Friday from Bard, is one of those, as well as ChatGPT. You can see what we've got here is we're asking both of those platforms the same question about hiking trails to see wildlife. And we don't get the same answers. These platforms are trained on different data. And on the Google platform, business profiles figure heavily into what is coming up in that AI-generated search results. So search generative experience, if you want to sound smart at a cocktail party this weekend, is what Google's name for their AI-generated search results. And if you ask detailed questions about a place or a destination, you're going to see search results that is bringing together information from not just reviews, but photos and business profile details. So this is yet another way that having a complete and current Google business profile can positively impact your business because you're more likely to show up in these SGE searches as well. So let's talk about some specifics around things we can do with our Google business profile, given the background of this is today's travel search environment. Now, if you've been on any of our previous webinars, we've spent most of our time talking about the 5 best practices for getting started with your Google business profile. First and foremost, making sure that you have claimed and verified ownership of that profile, keeping hours current, checking for categories and attributes that are relevant to your business, adding fresh photos on a regular basis, and making sure that you are responding to customer reviews. Now, all of these are really important for us to get started, but there are also a lot more interesting tools available to businesses within their business profile. I want to call out just a couple of things that are new and kind of interesting. First of all, there is now a mechanism by which you can enter all of your social profiles into your business profile. Previously, they used to kind of be scraped by the Google bot, but now there's actually a mechanism in Profile Manager where you can enter your social profiles. We have not seen these profiles propagating anywhere except in desktop search, such as the example that you see here. However, the fact that they are gathering this information about businesses makes me suspect that we will start seeing those in more places in the future. You're going to find the ability to do this under where you edit your business information under Contact. There's a new section in here for social profiles. You pick the profile off of that dropdown. There are 8 or 9, all of the major ones that you can think of can be chosen from here. And then you just put in the official address for your organization on that platform. and you can continue to add social profiles, as many as is applicable to you. Something else that got added very recently is the small business attribute. This is sort of, I've heard that it's been auto-applied to some businesses sort of based on their size and scope. But you're going to, again, find this under business information in the More section, where you can also self-identify your business as things like women-owned and Indigenous owned. You can see right here, there's one added in here that is a small business. You can click yes. If you do, you can potentially see this icon in your business profile, and Google has stated that they are going to allow users to search based on the specific attributes so that they can find small businesses in their communities. Next, I want to talk about posting updates. This used to be officially called posts, but now what you'll see in the mechanisms for updating your profile, either in Google Maps or in Google Search, is that it just says add offers or add events or add updates. But it's what this is almost free advertising. Posts are going to appear in your business profile everywhere that it propagates, across mobile, across desktop, across search, and across maps. And this can provide a huge amount of organic visibility to your message. And there is no pay-per-click to use these offer, event, and update features. So, I mean, really free advertising for your business right there. You will see buttons in your management center that either say add update, add offer, or add event. They are three separate but very similar forms that look pretty much like this. There are some minor differences. The one for adding an event gives you the ability to add start and end times. Offers have a different link feature. But what you really want to make sure you're doing is using an attention-grabbing photo that is bright colors and a simple subject. You really want to focus your message in on the first 100 characters because otherwise people are going to have to click to expand to read the rest of it. And you have full control over where your posts link to. It can be your booking engine, it can be your Facebook page, it can be your website, it can be the website of a community charity that you are supporting. You have full control over that link, and you can use Google's campaign tracking codes in those links if you want click-throughs to show up in your Google Analytics. You do get to choose a button that shows up. You've got about half a dozen options that are things like learn more, book now, etc. A few other best practices for adding an event, update, or offer. Do post early in the week if you're promoting something that's coming up for the following weekend. People do start thinking about their weekend on Monday, and you don't want to miss some of that audience. Posting regularly is great for your business. We find that businesses that are posting 2 to 4 times a month are getting more visibility on those posts. Do make sure that you review Google's content guidelines, particularly involving things around alcohol or other controlled substance promotion. It gets a little tricky in that regard. We've seen a few posts get pulled based on those guidelines. And one important thing we've noticed is that you should not use duplicate photos if you are promoting recurring events or recurring offers. So for example, I've seen bars and restaurants who are using the same photo every time they post karaoke night, and then they're getting a warning or they're getting their post removed because of a duplicate photo. The photos that you use in posts do get put into the photo gallery for your business. And they do have crawlers out there looking for particularly a lot of duplicates of the same image. So don't get your account suspended by doing the same karaoke picture every week for months and months. So now some other opportunities around customer interaction. You may have noticed that there is a questions and answers feature in all Google Business profiles. And this is something where anyone using Google can ask a question, and any Google user can respond to a question. This is Google's attempt to kind of crowdsource information about a location. But we often find that these questions will get answered more quickly by Google local guides or other Google users than they do by the business owner. And that's not always great. This is one of my favorite examples. Kimberly here wanted to know when the fall motorcycle meet is. And our friend Captain Obvious has said, well, I'd say it's in the fall. Thank you. But then we have a more experienced person who really explains when this event takes place related to when the 1st of October falls. Now, preferably, I think customers would really like to see those responses come directly from the business owner. That would be considered much more reliable. And as the owner, you can respond to questions, and those responses are going to be identified as coming from the owner, which has great credibility. When you're looking at your options for managing your profile, if you're on the desktop, you're going to see that there's a Q&A button right here for us to choose from that'll dump us right into our Q&A where we can respond to questions. Or if you're using the Google Maps mobile app, you're going to find this under the Customers button. It's also great to turn on your notifications for questions and answers. This is not turned on by default. If you go to this little 3-dot menu and choose notifications, you can see there's actually quite a few things that you can choose to be notified via email when something happens in your business profile. But one of those is getting an alert when a new question or answer has been posted on your profile. You can also get alerts for things like reviews and bookings. Now, this is a feature that's not really heavily used by customers, but once in a while we do find some really weird things in here, or just snarky people who enjoy responding. You do have recourse. You'll notice that both questions and answers have a little flag icon next to them. And clicking on this allows you to report a question or answer for being spam or inappropriate, but also for being off topic or incorrect. So you do have a way of getting poor quality content off of there. You also notice there's a little thumbs up icon. If you do have someone who responds to a question well about your location, you can give them a little thumbs up for taking the time to help support your business. You can also make this feature work for you by filling in both questions and answers for your business. If you have a few frequently asked questions that you're not seeing in the Q&A, you are able to both post a question and your own answer to the question and give it a thumbs up so that it ranks a little bit higher in those results. Another way that we can communicate with customers with our Google Business Profile that's highly underutilized is messaging. Direct messaging basically allows the opportunity for customers to chat to your business. When you have messaging enabled, your business profile will have this chat button available on it, or this contact us now feature showing up in that listing. And it works really just like a chat dialogue, other than there is no contact information exchanged in that dialogue, but it certainly looks like kind of your text messages on your phone. You find this feature under this messages button. It is turned off by default, so you need to click in here to turn it on using the slider. There's a few options in here. You can have your customers receive read receipts so that they know that you got their message. You can also set a welcome message that will immediately be sent back to the customer when they message you, so they get at least some instantaneous response. You can also put FAQs or manage an away mode in this. So this is a great feature for communicating with customers, but you do need to be aware of using it, that you need to be responsive. And if you have others on your team who are going to be responsible for responding, make sure that they know that questions might come in on this channel and that they need to be responsive to them. Google encourages replies within 24 hours, and they do reserve the right to disable accounts that are sort of chronically not responding quickly. One of the other sort of interesting features in this, though, is that you retain the right to continue to communicate with that customer for 30 days after the point that they reach out to you. So in the 30 days following their outreach, you can proactively initiate additional conversation with that prospective client. And then after that 30-day mark, they would have to contact you again before that comes back around. Next, I want to talk about conversion integrations. I had mentioned at the top of this that we are really seeing booking integration front and center. It's not just enough now to find out a little bit about a business, get some driving directions. We really are pushing more towards the transaction with the Google Business Profile. We're also seeing this in search results. As I mentioned, this tickets and tour piece is an ad unit. But if we look down here in the top sites for Mount Hood, this is what comes up if we search for things to do in Mount Hood. You'll see that the National Forest is actually showing a ticket price in its search results listing. And so businesses that or locations that have their ticketing enabled and have prices showing in their profile are also having those prices start to show in search results. Now, I'm going to try to unpack how that works for different kinds of businesses. And these features vary quite a bit based on what business categories you have chosen for your business. So when it comes to attractions, and again, across the board, you have to have a verified listing for doing any of this. You don't have to use a third party to be able to enable ticket sales on your site. You used to have to. When we click on the See Tickets button, you can see here for the Portland Art Museum, this is actually going to their official website. So if I click on this link for tickets, I'm being directed right into the ticket purchasing section of their website. So this is a really great opportunity to increase direct ticket sales. If you are an attraction, and again, need to make sure that you are a tourist attraction or one of the primary attraction categories is either a primary or a secondary category for your profile. You want to look in your tools for this button that says tickets. Recently, we have found that this really only shows up when you're using desktop to manage your profile. It doesn't seem to be showing up in mobile right now. So if you click on this, you're going to get a dialog that allows you to put in the URL for your tickets for your business. In the lodging space, I recognize booking integration is a lot more complicated, and revenue management is a session we could do an entirely other session on. But do be aware that there is something called the lodging free booking link in Google Business Profiles, where accommodations owners are able to put in rooms and rates that will appear in their profile as coming from the business themselves and not through any of the OTAs or third booking providers. So those rates will show up within the business profile. It may also show up in the local pack and will always be identified with this little call out here that says official site. Now, one thing to note too, over here on the left, you can see this first section is sponsored. These are all the pay-per-click advertising that's happening for Expedia, etc. If you're using the free booking link, you are guaranteed to be the first spot underneath the all options. If you're a lodging property, you should see an edit rates button here in your dialog. You can use this feature to add single room rates, double occupancy rates, discounts for multi-night stays, etc. The tricky bit is that you can't add multiple rates for different room types or do refundable rates. So few nuances in there that to get into, but these rates will show up in places like Google Search, Maps, and YouTube. Restaurants actually get the opportunity to have both a reserve a table and an order online button featured in their business profile and control over where these go to. For reservations, you do have to have a third-party tool set up, primarily OpenTable or Resy, being probably the two most popular that get integrated into here. So you will need to be set up with one of those third parties in order to take advantage of this. The way that works is you're going to go into booking and you're going to click on these get started, add a link buttons, and this is where you will paste your link from that third party provider into the listing, and then it's going to publish. And you will, once you turn that on, then you would start seeing the reserve a table or order online buttons in your listing that will link to those third-party services that you are using either for online ordering or for reserving tables. But the integration will look something like this. You click on the button and then it goes right into like an OpenTable dialog where I can choose date, times, etc., and it's tied into the real-time availability in OpenTable. Now, these are not the only three types of businesses that can integrate direct bookings. These features vary based specifically on what categories of business you have chosen for your business. So if I have chosen that I am a tour operator, I'm going to get different options than if I am an amusement park or a zip line, like an event. There's something like a adventure park. So there's some nuance to what that looks like. You can see in this example here is a food tour who has their ticketing options available in here. So what you see will depend on what kind of business you are. This one was a little bit unique. This is a listing for an adventure park that has like go-karts and zip rides and lots of different experiences. And they have not only a bookings option, but the ability to either add products or add activities. Products and activities are another way that we can integrate booking into our listings. Bookings itself is pretty straightforward. You go to a dialog like this, you paste in your booking URL, and that's going to integrate your booking. Products and activities, in fact, was really just launched in, I want to say winter, around November of 2023. They're very similar, but activities seems to only show up for certain business types. Products are going to appear in your business profile, whether it's in search results or in maps. With products, you do have the ability to add a photo to that product, include a price, include a link to book that product, and you can even separate your products into different categories like boat rentals, boat tours, fishing charters, etc. Again, we find that this dialog is only visible in desktop, so you want to be on your desktop computer when trying to add these and click on either Edit Products or Ticket. This is what the dialog looks like for adding a product. You can put in the product name, give it a category, a price, a description, and paste in a landing page URL for that product. You can also add a photo. As I mentioned, activities is a new one. So if you are a tour operator, definitely check that out because you should be able to add your tours as an activity. Very similar sort of dialogue, the activity name, price, what type of it is, and the booking URL. So we're going to wrap up our recommended best practices for today, talking a little bit about profile performance. There is a really fascinating amount of performance data available to you through your Google Business Profile. So as you're looking at this menu, you're going to want to look for this performance button. Or if you're using the mobile maps app, you're actually just going to see some data about your most current usage, how many views your profile has had recently. If you click on that view data, it's also going to open the performance dialog. Now, I want to call out that this performance data is not your Google Analytics. Your Google Analytics is different. And it is tied to your website. It is telling you about the performance of your website. All of this data is specifically about your Google Business Profile, where it's shown up in maps or in search, whether it was on mobile or desktop. What kind of conversions did people take from your profile? And even what keywords did they use in order to find your business profile? So this is really unique and fascinating information on just your profile performance. Now, this data is only updated monthly and was recently changed to only go back to 6 months of data. So you can select a reporting time frame between 1 month, just look at one single month, or you can go back as far as 6 months. Makes a case to me to maybe keep a spreadsheet of some of your top statistics, since you're not necessarily going to be able to go back to them. However, there is a comparison feature. So if I select 2 months of data, I will get year-over-year percentage comparison over time. So in the overview, what we're going to see are business profile interactions. This is a grand total of all your customer interactions, calls, messages, bookings, requests for directions, all rolls up into this business profile interactions number. So that is really your primary KPI for everything from your profile. Again, if you have a completed month, you will be able to see a comparison for the same time frame year over year. There is a profile views section that will show you how many people viewed your profile, and it will also give you a device breakdown. So you can see what percentage of your traffic is coming from search versus maps, and how much is coming from mobile versus desktop. There's also a searches button section in here that will tell you how many times your business profile appeared in search results. Now, you may recall many moons ago, Google took search keyword data out of our Google Analytics. This is a sneaky way that you can get some actual keyword data for your business. This is going to show you the top 5 terms that your profile showed up in search results for. But if I click on see more here, I will actually get up to 100 search terms that my business profile showed up in those search results. It is very common to see a pretty good mix of business category terms, things like restaurants or food near me, as well as variations of your business name. If you're not seeing anything other than your business name, that's a good indicator that you should go in and take a look at how your profile is categorized and if you're following these best practices, because you may be missing out on some visibility there. Lastly, we talked about there being a roll-up of interactions. You can also get individual interaction data out of this reporting. Now, this is going to vary a little bit based on what kind of business you are. If you're not a restaurant, you're not going to see food orders, but most businesses will see things like call, website clicks, and driving directions. So you can, in fact, break down your specific conversions here as well. So thank you, everyone, for your attention. We've taken a little bit of a tour of what's new in Google search results and some of the things that we are able to do to share updates about what's going on with our business, interact directly with our clients, and even generate some real bookings through our Google business profile. And now you know a little bit more about the reporting tools that are available to you as well. I did also want to wrap up by calling out the really unique partnership that Travel Oregon has with Local, which is a platform that helps you manage and maximize your Google business profile. I know this sounds like a lot to do, and it is. The Local platform helps you streamline this management of your listing. Remember how I said our profile data was disappearing after 6 months? This is how to get 18 months of analytics out of your business profile versus that 6-month limitation. You can also use this tool to manage your business reputation, respond to reviews, schedule posts, etc. So we've had a lot of Oregon businesses indicate that the Local platform has helped them save time and created a better visitor experience. So if you have any questions about Local or even the best practices around Google business profiles, Travel Oregon maintains a great business listings toolkit that can be found at industry.traveloregon.com/listings. That's where you can find out more about Local as well as access to our other training materials. One of the services that Miles Partnership also provides as a part of our work with Travel Oregon is free support in office hours. And what that means is if you're having trouble claiming your business profile, or you're trying to set up booking and having some trouble, or just really have a question about any of these best practices, you can use this Calendly link, and Cecilia has put it in the chat. It will also be in the follow-up materials You can book a Zoom call with our team here at Miles, and we would be happy to sit with you and take a look at the specific question or issue you're having with your business and try to help out. We don't have a magic wand or a bat phone directly to Google, but we have done this hundreds of times for hundreds of businesses, so we have some pretty good firsthand experience on how to solve most problems that come up with the platform. So please do take the time to take advantage of that totally free service from Travel Oregon. And we have a little bit of time left if anyone has any questions that they want to drop into the questions and answers section.
Kim, I feel like there was a lot of information in that deck. I will be going back to watch the presentation, and I think questions might come from that after, digesting more. So anyone that has attended that, say you think of a question after we wrap today, feel free to email Travel Oregon at integrated@traveloregon.com. That email will be included in the follow-up materials that you receive from me. But we are here to help. Travel Oregon is here to support. Kim and Miles Partnership are here to support, and our team at Local are here to support. So office hours with Miles Partnership are absolutely free. And very valuable. Signing up for a local account that is also free to any tourism business or visitor facing business is a good way to think about that. So thank you all so much for being here. You will get an email from me in the next couple days with links to all of these materials, and do reach out with any questions or comments. So thank you very much, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.